Hello there. Welcome to week 7, public relations. This week we look at getting materials ready for mass media. And mass media is that media that broadcasts out all over the place. So we're talking internet, radio, television, some still print areas. And also we're going to take a look at global public relations. So not just focusing on your US market, but is there a difference, and of course there is, approach to how we handle public relations worldwide when you factor in all the different cultures and languages and values and morals and norms and all of the stuff that factors in when you're dealing with the entire world? You have to start tailoring your message for, say, parts of Europe compared to maybe in the Far East. And so we'll look at all of those areas. A lot of people think radio and television, come on, is that really relevant anymore in the age of the internet? And it turns out that the radio and television are used still quite a bit. People still listen to the radio, whether you're talking regular radio or satellite radio. People still do, according to surveys, listen to a lot of information on the radio, especially when they're driving. And radio stations have adapted with the times, and a whole lot of the radio stations now broadcast via the internet as well. And so you can listen to your favorite radio station while you're in your office, for example, after you were listening to them when you drove from home to work. So the radio and the television both are still very strong contenders for public relations channels. And we'll talk about that. We'll also look at some of the ways that public relations is sometimes skewed to appear one way when it's another. So sometimes people will put public relations press releases together in the form of trying to look like it's a news article. I see this on TV a lot. Even within sometimes the news, I still watch local news and network news. I don't see this in the network news, but in the local news in Indianapolis, I do see sometimes they'll be in the middle of a story and somewhere around the 20-minute mark, they will go to what appears to be an interview with somebody, and it's actually like a press release, maybe about a product or it's product sponsored, and it appears like it's a news story and an interview in a news story. In actuality, that's not what it is. And we'll look at stuff like that as well. There's a lot of little things that are done to reach the masses because, of course, you've got to try to cover all the different bases that are out there and all the different ways people use mass media, because the internet is still huge. You still have a lot of social media that you've got to get involved in. You've got to understand algorithms for like how Google does its searches and how the other search engines do their searches so that you ensure that your information shows up there. And they're also, but we're going to look at how do you prep all of your PR materials? How do you prepare for a media interview? That kind of thing. So hopefully there'll be quite a few videos up again this week. It's still a busy week. I've got the next 2 weeks are both packed because I'm teaching 4 classes, but I tried to put up a bunch of videos last week. I have no idea if anybody watched any of them, but hopefully you're getting something out of them. I intend to do 2 or 3 of those again. I also pulled a couple of things out of the supplemental materials because I know a lot of students forget that's there or they ignore it. And some of those videos were very good. And I think I put 2 of those up last week on the login page, but I will do some of that as well. As far as assignments go, you've got the Politics and Government Industry Study will submit their assignment this week. That should be the last one that we have because we have an extra week 8 doesn't have an industry study due because it's sort of a catch-all, because obviously, as we've already seen, they don't all get submitted early on in the week because it takes time to do them. And then I'll extend dates out on the due dates, although the last group got theirs in on time, and so I didn't have to extend the due date. But Politics and Government Study Group will put their thing up. We will also look a lot at politics and, oh, sorry, that's week 7. The Global Public Relations Group will put their stuff up this week. I was looking at the module module 7. Global Public Relations Group will put their industry study up. That will be the last one. And you've got some very interesting stuff in here. The one I do want to call attention to, and this is one that I mentioned in week 1 as being one of the assignments that seems like it's a weird one, and it kind of is, but it's one where you want to have started. Hopefully you have started. I mean, you've been collecting these things. It's the swipe file. And in the swipe file, you are collecting things that you could use later. You see something, you go, oh, I might use that down the road, or oh, that's really catchy, and you save it as an idea generator for down the road. This week you turn in all of the stuff that you've been collecting in your swipe file, and you'll do that by next Sunday night. And I do want to point that out because hopefully you've been doing it. It's one that students tend to forget is in there. And it is one of those things that, like I said, in the week 1, I didn't think of it as a swipe file. I didn't call it that. And I did once in a while save stuff that I'd see it and I think, that idea might be useful down the road, or I'd see something, I'm like, yeah, I could incorporate that into then. You just kind of throw it into this file and save it. That's what the swipe file's for. It's sort of your catch-all for idea generation, or you're saving graphics, or you're saving, sometimes I would save an article on something, then it was not necessarily I was going to use that specific article, but I liked some of the information that was in it, or I liked the format that it had, that kind of thing. And so you'll want to turn that in. And then, like I said, I will put up some videos as the week progresses. I will cover some of the things that I cover in my face-to-face class on PR, because you'll have some videos with examples. You will have a little bit more detail than you get just from reading it in the book. And again, hopefully some of you are getting information out of these videos. And that's really about it. We got 2 weeks to go, and then summer starts. So if you got any questions, shoot me an email or catch me in office hours. And otherwise, have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.